All right, in today's session, you're going to learn about countdown concept. For instance, you want to know how many days you have left until your next, for instance, birthday. All right, so ask for your birthday and we get the day today, for instance. We know what day it is, and then based on that, you sort of calculate that. So you can actually write it down yourself, but you want to write a code about it and see if we can do it. And you can like expand upon it. You can get any kind of sort of input, like the time, or like the year, just focusing on the year, just focusing on the month, or all together. So just a number of days or number of years to your next, for instance, birthday. So you can think of different types of input and output, but for the time being, let's just focus on asking for a birthday and then calculate days left until the next one. So you're gonna get the idea of date time. So it's very clear. This functionality, like you get the date and time if you just say today, so it gives you the today's date and time, and compared to this date with your birthday, as simple as that. And if a birthday already passed, count for next birthday, right? So the idea is here daytime, that daytime today, so it's super clear, today's full date, and daytime, the time delta, it gets actually the difference between dates. All right, so it's just basically the dates that you entered and the date today's date, for instance. So the prompt I'm going to use is write the Python code that asks for my birthday and the day, and compares it to today's date and print how many days remain until my next one. If the date has passed this year, calculate for next one. Keep it short, clear, adds emojis for fun. And then you can actually add other things, so show months and weeks remaining, as I said, say birthday for future runs, and show countdown. These are things that you can add and come up with your own prompt if you like after this. So let's just practice together. So actually I put it here. I brought the prompt here. You can actually manipulate and modify it as you wish. And then here's the code we get. So if you just run it, say it asks us enter your birth months. Let's say it's 5, right? Let's say May. And then say enter your birthday. Let's say it is 23, right? 23rd. And then say, okay, you are 29, 291 days, because it's past now. It's, I think, August 3rd or 4th today. So anyway, so it's going to be next year. So that's why it's quite many years, many days, until then. So quickly recap and understand what we have done, or the AI has done for us. Say from datetime, import date. So you can see the date from this library has been imported. And then there's a function here all the way, and then this function runs, right? So you can see this is exactly the same function. When you run this function, it goes all the way here and runs it. And what it does is it gets another try, and we had it before, try and except for the errors that you may get. So if you put something wrong in terms of like the birthday months, etc., and then you say, oh, oops, enter valid numbers, if you put like 24, for months or something. And otherwise, it goes through getting the months and day, pretty much what we did here, months and day, as an input, and then gets the today's date and current day, the current year, and then bursts this year. It gets the date, it comes from this date and the functionalities. If you just stay on it, it tells you what this function does. You can even open the date and you open the function and then go through the detail. Otherwise, you can see it's very simple, a current year and months and day, just input. And if the birthday is less than today, so that was the old functionality. If it is today's is less than that, so it's basically gets the next year, right? Next birthday. So coming from date and current year plus one and months and day, correct? And then what it does is time differences. Next birthday minus today, because you get the next birthday and then you already have today. So from here, and then that's the whole time difference. And in terms of like, this is the overall one, time delta, as we said, and then the basically days left would be time delta dot days. That gives you all days. So, and here is just say if days left 0, it's just happy birthday. It's just the same day it is. And if it is, say it's not, then it actually tells you there are, as you can see, there are 29 days left until your next birthday days until your next match. So one thing that we probably haven't discussed before, if you want to really go deep into what within the function, what happens, sometimes it's best to just actually bring all this, whatever is inside the function, and then run it from there. So then basically the whole thing is being run, right? So let's say it is 3 months and then say 12 and just tells you what it is. It tells you the days it is. But then the cool thing about this one with versus what we had above is you can go through that and everything is you can hover and see what each parameter has got in terms of their input. You can see the input for month, you can see the input for day, and then this is good for debugging, for instance. And then what day today is, you see here, day today. And then if you don't see it, it's not function, you can actually get, you remember, highlight it, and then Control Shift Enter, and it gives you, you see, datetime date, 2025, 8/5, today's date, basically. Did you get it? So, but here you can't easily. At the moment, you can because we brought it here. We brought the functions out there, just what's inside the function, so you can see it. But if you just run this cell, you cannot easily go back and see what's inside every single parameter, for instance, or variable. Anyway, so that's the cool part of it. In terms of if there's an error you want to debug, etc., it can really help you out. So let's just practice, and see what else you can do with these ideas. And see you in the next session.